going on, guys? My name is Andrew. Today's video is going to be about the 5 reasons why I hate this car. I hate this Jeep. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this thing, but there are definitely some things that I hate. A lot of people don't like the Jeep for these reasons. I love the Jeep for these reasons. Number 1, fuel economy. This thing sucks on gas. I average about 10 mpg on the highway, and it's just less than that in the city. This thing is a pig. It's a 20.5 gallon tank. I can go about 200 miles on a tank, maybe a little more if I'm lucky and I'm trying to get better mpg. A lot of the reason to do with that bad fuel economy is this engine. This engine sucks. This is the Chrysler 3.8, and it just doesn't have enough power. It doesn't have what it takes to get the job done. Another huge problem with this is that I'm not really good. I have 410s and with 35s and the 3.8. They recommend about 513s when you have 35s and the 3.8, just because you have almost no power with that engine. So you kind of have to go up to a higher gear range to bring the fuel economy up. Number 2 is definitely size. This thing has a 3.5-inch lift kit on 35s. The back spacing of these wheels too are about 5 inches, so these tires do poke out a little bit, which in turn makes this thing huge. I barely fit into an average parking spot, and if there's any compact car parking spot or anything near the size of a compact car parking spot, I'm not fitting in it. It's extremely hard to park when there's other cars around you. It can get pretty tight in the parking decks, and this thing isn't that good in them. As right around 7 feet, with the roof basket on, I fit by about 1/2 inch into a 7'2" parking deck, and with the roof basket off, I can fit into a 6'8" parking deck with about 1 inch of clearance. This thing is pretty tall, and it only has a 3.5-inch lift kit on it, which isn't even near what you could go to. The turning radius isn't that bad, but just the sheer size of it is just overwhelming sometimes. Trying to navigate, you have to know the dimension of your car, otherwise you're not going to be able to use you need all the space you have to park this thing. You need to get as close to that car when you pull in, you need to get as close to it when you pull out. You have to know where your vehicle ends, and with this car it's hard because the whole thing's just a box. It's hard sometimes. You think the end of the hood is right here, where actually you have the giant fender sticking out about 1 foot from that hood, so it is very hard to park. You have to get used to it. As far as comfort goes, this thing is not that comfortable. I mean, the seat is from is 10 years old. It's been used. This thing is not that comfortable. I'm about 6 foot, and my knees are pretty close to hitting the dash over here. Especially for the people in the back who have to sit in those 2 seats, those seats are not comfortable. And that middle seat right there, underneath it isn't supported by anything, so that whoever sits in there kind of sinks into the seat. I mean, plenty of headroom right here. I got about 3 or 4 inches. I'm 6 foot. The seat's pumped up a little bit. You can pump it down. It's not that comfortable. I have to drive this thing 16 hours to and from school whenever there's a break, and it's not fun at all. No cruise control. The amount of room you have from the door to right about here is about 7 inches shorter than the average car. So you feel kind of cramped in here. It's really not that wide. This thing's brakes on the highway, especially with these big tires, aren't helping at all. It's one of the things that need to get fixed. Now, another thing I hate about this is the noise. Now, not the exhaust noise, just the amount of noises that you hear, especially on the highway. The highway, you hear a lot. You hear the wind. This thing is a brick. This thing is not aerodynamically engineered at all. It's a brick. Now, on the highway, you can hear that brick moving, and then you start to hear noises like this. This thing produces so much wind noise, it's almost incomprehensible. If you want to picture a brick, a giant brick moving through the air at 70 miles an hour, it's not going to be quiet. This engine struggles to keep up. This thing, 205 horsepower, the intake helps, but this thing is not making any more than 170 horsepower with these wheels and tires on them. This thing is not fast on the highway. The maximum speed this thing could probably go to is about 75, 80 with the wind to its back downhill, but it moves. Like, you don't really need it to do much more other than just go. It's not a sports car. The torque isn't that bad. On the trail, I haven't had a problem yet, especially in low range. This thing just chugs in low range. Thank you guys for watching. That's my 5 things that I hate about the Jeep Wrangler. Stay tuned and subscribe if you want to see another video about me telling you the 5 things I love about this Jeep. That will be coming soon. All right, take it easy. Thanks, guys.